Right, in previous videos we've talked about certain types of shapes, and one shape that we've talked about is just a box shape, and that might look like this. And we've also talked about cylinders, with a cylinder maybe looking something like this. And with both these type of shapes, we've talked about volume. Now, what we've said, to find the volume of shapes like this, you take the area of the base and you multiply the area of the base, or in other words, the area of the bottom, times the height of the shape. Now, this works well with these type of shapes because these shapes, the height is what we call or phrase as uniform. The height is uniform. So in other words, the height of both these shapes is straight up and down. They don't curve in or anything. So to find the volume of either one, we just simply take the area of the base and take it times the height of the figure. Now, when we talk about, we're going to talk about a couple different types of shapes today. And these are called cones and pyramids. Now, before we get into what these look like and what they are, let's make note of this formula. So notice I've used V to stand for volume, and then I kind of titled it by pyramid and cone, because to find the volume of a pyramid or a cone, it's the same formula. And notice that in this formula we still have the area of the base times the height, but there's one main difference. Now, you're going to take a third of that. So the formula is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Now, a cone might look something like this. So it's a circular bottom. I'm just trying to make this three-dimensional. So our cone might look something like this. And our pyramid might have a shape something like this, where it has a rectangular bottom. And most of you can, pretty much visualize, what a cone might look like. So notice the difference. Now, with the heights of both these, are the heights uniform? So in other words, are the heights straight up and down? So if I look at the cone, notice the height isn't straight up and down. It kind of curves in. Same thing with the pyramid, it curves in. So that's why we can't just simply take the area of the base times the height, because we're losing some volume on the sides since they do curve in. So in other words, on this pyramid, it isn't straight up and down. All right? So if we just simply took the area of the base times the height, that's not going to be the volume. So with calculations, we take 1/3 of it. Now there's a little arithmetic involved here with taking 1/3 of something. So for example, say that the area of the base in some example was, say, 63. So say we found the area of the base, whether it's a cone or a pyramid, and it's 63, and say the height is 8. Now how do you take 1/3 times 63 times 8? And there's a lot of different ways to do this. For example, one way you could do this is you could think of 63 and 8 as over 1. So you can multiply across. You could take 63 times 8 over 3. Just like when you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. And then you could take your 63 times 8, get your answer on top, and then divide whatever that is by 3. That's one way you could take 1/3 of it. Another way you could think of this is we could take 63, we could do some cross canceling. So we could take the 3 and the 63 and we could divide those by 3, or in other words, cross cancel. And let's see, if I divided both these by 3, that leaves 1, and up here that would be a 21, right? And then take 21 times 8. That would be another way that I could take 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. All right, let's take a look at an example. Now in example 1, it says find the volume of the rectangular pyramid. So as best as I can draw this, I've got a pyramid. All right, it's called a rectangular pyramid because the bottom is rectangular. All right, and that's kind of where it gets its name. Now notice that our rectangle on the bottom, it's 9 by 7, and notice the height of this pyramid from the very tip to the middle of the rectangle is 8. And I'm going to label this here. We'll say that all these are in inches. All right. Now, by our formula, to find the volume of a pyramid, and I'll abbreviate this, we take 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. All right. So, move this over a little bit so I have room. Now, so I'm going to take 1/3 times, let's see, the area of the base, the area of the bottom is 9 by 7, so that's 63. And notice I'm going to get the same numbers as I used on the previous screen, just because I got them from this example. And the height of it is 8. All right. Now I'm going to do what I did in one of my examples there for taking 1/3 of something. I'm going to cross cancel. Now there might be some problems where you can't do this, where I can't take the bottom number and cross cancel like this. Now here I can. Now I'm going to take 21 times 8, and we get 168. So it's 168, and since it's volume, it's three-dimensional, it's inches cubed. Now, if I weren't able to cross cancel, remember, another way to do this is you could take your 63 times 8, take that answer, and then divide it by 3. All right, example 2. Now, we got a little different shape, not a rectangular pyramid, but what we call a right circular cone. Now, it's called a right circular cone because the bottom is a circle, but it's the same formula. For a pyramid or a cone, it's the same formula. So to find the volume of this cone, we're simply going to take 1/3 times the area of the base, so in other words, the area of the circle, times the height. All right, and again, I'll move this over. So we have 1/3 times. Now, let's find the area of the base. So it's a circle. So let's see, to do that, the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, which is going to give us 3.14 times radius squared. Let's see, 6 squared is 36. And to find the area of the base then, I'm going to take the 3.14 times 36. And I find that the area of our base then is 113.04. And the height of this is 8. Now in this example, I'm not even going to mess around with trying to cross cancel anything. There's really nothing to cross cancel. So I'm going to go with the other way that we can do these formulas, and that's to think of this as 113.04 over 1 and 8 over 1. So just like multiplying fractions, I'm going to multiply the top. I'm going to take 113.04 times 8, and in the top I get 904.32. And then I'm going to divide that by 3, which is the same thing as taking 1/3 of it. So I'll divide that by 3, and it comes out to 301.44. And that's approximately, that's not exact, because remember pi isn't exactly 3.14. So the volume of this cone then is 301.44, and there's not a label on this one, so we'll just call it units cubed. Okay? So the main difference with this section is you being able to just think to yourself, what's the difference between finding the volume of a box or a cylinder, because they're uniform, they're straight up and down, compared to finding the volume of a pyramid or a cone. For a pyramid or a cone, they kind of slant in, and that's why we take that 1/3 of the area of the base times the height.